What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. It is Monday. It is the start of a brand new week. It's not a great week for me, by the way. I've got loads of stuff going on this week. Loads of stuff in the 9 to 5 with one of the, directors of the business. All of that. But at this moment in time, the next hour and a bit, it is all about the cryptocurrency market. It's all about understanding what's going on. And more importantly, the big question on everyone's mind, did we just avoid a government shutdown? I know what you're thinking. 2-bit? I don't know. That's why I'm here to find out. All right, well, we're going to get into it. Bitcoin rallying a little bit today on, I think, some more optimistic views of where the market is, or certainly a little bit more view as to what's going on. So we'll talk about that. Some very interesting price action, though. And again, we could absolutely see us head down to Goblin Town tomorrow. We'll talk a bit more about exactly why that is, as well as getting into the latest from the market structure bill. Let's walk through that and some big Ethereum news. Now, I know you guys are like, I don't care about Ethereum 2-bit. I couldn't give a monkeys. Well, we're going to talk about a little bit, not too much, a little bit about Ethereum. And we'll get into kind of anything else you guys want to talk about, including the Trump accounts. What the heck is this? I got you covered. All right, we'll talk all about that a little bit later on as well. So do me a favor, smash up the like button to brand new all time. It's your first time here. Consider subscribing to the channel every day. We're breaking these markets down. We're walking through the bits that no one else wants to talk about. We're diving deeper into analysis and the news, as well as taking a look at the technicals. It's like a one-stop shop for everything you need, as well as interaction and obviously everything else. So like I said, hit the like button. Also tap the screen if you're on TikTok. We appreciate you guys tuning in. And with that being said, I do still have my tea to drink, by the way. So I'm not going to, just be mindful of that I do need to drink some tea at the same time, which is not a bad thing, by the way. Tea is a good thing for the soul, in my opinion. All right. So let's bring up the Bitcoin price. Come here, TikTok. You guys need to come over here. Again, I will and still endeavor to sort that out. But there you go. And I'm going to get my cup of tea here as well so I can drink this while we're talking. Griff says, what's up? So cold outside. What's going on? Craig says, I'll be driving again, but I'm listening. All right, Craig. Keep your eyes on the road, bro. Zero June says, no disaster, mate. It's crypto. Keep doing that face and you'll collide with becoming the big eye. I don't even know what that means, but thanks, mate. Okay, so pretty interesting day in the markets here. Bitcoin, 87,500. What's important to reference here, though, is the wick up to this lower channel. Now, you'd argue and say, whoa, 2-bit. Didn't actually make it to that line, but it's as good as damn it, isn't it? That we actually got to this line here. So Bitcoin did get rejected, weirdly, at $89,000. Like, think about that. Asia bought, okay? So we were kind of in a world where we thought maybe they will, maybe they won't. Asia actually came in, bought the markets. Europeans came in, bought the markets. The US came in and bought the markets, but then we've just seen selling off, which is exactly what I've said. And if you remember that Matt Hogan interview that we listened to yesterday, we have to now exhaust the sellers. We're unfortunately going to see quite a bit of selling pressure as we move our way up. Why? Because, well, that's just life. And at the minute, people are super nervous on potentially where the market's going to go. Are we going to consistently see this dumping? And are people calling the bear market, which again could absolutely be a key thing. So, interesting enough, wicked back up. Fell short of around 89,025, which was essentially yesterday's move. That would have taken us a little bit higher. And I think if we'd have broke yesterday's dump, that would have probably pushed us way higher in the markets. But that is just life, okay? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But what's interesting is altcoins actually did move pretty well. Look at the overall market cap at $2.93 trillion. Went all the way back up to retesting 2.98. But look at the total too, by the way. It's up 2.7. What can you know here, though? Exactly the same. Rejected at this particular line. So, by the way, just FYI, if you are a trader or you are looking for, any kind of trading, this is obviously good indications. Macro trend lines supported on a shorter time frame. These give you some ideas. So, for example, for me, you're looking at this trade where you've got loads of bearish setup right now. If we to break this line and then give a retest, you could argue maybe we get a pump to the 20-day EMA. And when you start to walk through some of the lower time frames, that's when you can kind of get into some of this play as well. So interesting that is kind of breaking out. Also, we see here, look, the Federal Reserve banks and the US Treasury General account. Now, people are freaking out that liquidity is not going to go to the market. You can see there it's already starting to build again to pre the last shutdown, which is interesting. It's actually up 12%. Now, you could say, well, it's, Monday, people are dumping money in it. But remember, this is a weekly time frame that we're seeing in there. So just be mindful of the TGA. BTC dominance is on its way down. Great news. This tells us that altcoins actually had a slightly better day than I think maybe people give credit to. Likewise, with stablecoins as well. So stablecoins coming out of the market quickly, flicking down. Stocks got wrecked today. You can see here, US Treasuries got wrecked today, which tells me, in my opinion, we'll talk about it in a minute, but people are buying Japanese treasuries, which is kind of interesting. So this may support the global markets. We'll have to see. The DXY continues to come down. I talked about this in my update video that went live earlier on. If you haven't checked that out, highly recommend having a look at it. But it talks about why the dollar is weakening and ultimately what the Fed is trying to do to weaken the dollar. So again, we touched on this a little bit as it walked through last night. The S&P continues to rally. Copper up 3.4% here on futures. So we may see another big day. Gold breaking 5,000. Insane, right? Gold, 1.3%. Futures also look bullish, and silver at 108. I know I keep saying this every night, and I know I keep saying this every stream, but if you think about it, eventually I'm going to be right. The rotation of gold and silver is coming. I don't know when it's going to be. We might even try and break that down a little bit tonight, but this wick tells me something very, very interesting. Remember, this essentially means that we saw massive selling. When was the last time we had a wick even close to this size? Back here, which followed by 4 days of selling off. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but this is only the second time in this entire move we have seen a wick the size of we have seen. So actually, silver topped out at 117 and then rejected all the way back down. Over 7% correction over the course of the day. I know people say, whoa, 2-bit. What do you mean 7% correction? It's going to the freaking moon. Well, I mean, it is, but it just corrected more than it's corrected this whole cycle. Gold, not quite the same. We got some pretty big selling off here back on the 30th of December, but gold still the same. Maybe, just maybe, all right? But copper is now the one that could be running. Maybe people going into altcoins. So some good, interesting coins out there. Zcash looking to break this resistance line. I've been talking about this for a while. We put this in the premium Discord. If we break this lower level at 366 with some volume support, this might end up being a nice little trade up to the 20-day EMA. Look at the last time we broke through or bounced off this support level. We wicked all the way up to the 20-day EMA. Not saying it's going to be. Remember, this is obviously your money and you need to do the right things, but at the same time, you can see how strong this line is. So my view would be a break above could be pretty interesting. XMR starting to bounce back off that 100-day EMA. Canton Network up about 6%. So Craig, I don't know if he's still in that trade on there, but Canton's starting to print back to the upside as well, which is nice. So some of these altcoins are moving pretty well. Asta as well at 63 is a nice little breakout. So a couple of good coins here on the move. Ondo about 3%, and then a couple of others here. Look, Algorand's up 3% on XRP, which is kind of nice. Solana and both Ethereum all having strong moves from that lower support level. But obviously the Mac Daddy, BTC is the one we want to see move, and right now it is sat where it is. So yeah, people didn't realize that an inverse correlation between metals and crypto. I mean, that's true. That's true. Mark says we're close. Who's going to buy 150 bucks? Exactly. That's what I've been saying. At some point, silver and gold become too expensive. At that point, Bitcoin suddenly feels very undervalued. And if you look at the gold to Bitcoin ratio, by the way, and you actually look at it as a measure of profit, then gold is actually way overvalued versus Bitcoin. I know people go, well, it's not actually. It's $5,000. It's not $100,000. But when you look at it relative, there is definitely a demand here that gold is overvalued towards the price of Bitcoin. Certainly the current price of Bitcoin, and you agree the sentiment of where that is, then yeah, I'll see if I can find it, because it was a pretty interesting chart that I was looking at that was showing, like I said, the correlation between the two. Is it this one? Maybe it's this one. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Yeah. No. I thought it was that one. I thought it was that one. That's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay. Cool. This kind of gives you a bit of an idea. So gold relative strength since 2022. The orangey kind of layer is BTC. Gold is the, just to give you an idea, gold is the big black line that's running through. The red line is obviously silver. But you can see here, look, this absolutely plays out exactly what we're talking about. The relative strength here on Bitcoin is significantly down. No one cares. No one cares about it. Versus gold and silver, they're absolutely skyrocketing. Again, when have we seen this happen before? When we have negative negative BTC, and we have negative gold. Actually, we've seen a strong move up in the markets all the way back here since 2022 when you look at the price of gold versus the price of BTC. So we could be in for, you know, a reversal. Again, I'm in this place where I'm not sure when, but we could be about to see some early signs of this starting to play out. Again, gold could absolutely rip to brand new all-time highs again tomorrow, and all of a sudden go and do 8%. You know, that's absolutely on the cards. As people FOMO the absolute top out of this, then yeah, this could be a nervous space. Like I said, my view is not where I'm at right now. Gold is not something I'm buying. Likewise, silver, the same as well. So worthwhile thinking about as we keep close to what's going on in these markets. Also, just dead quick, AVAX's ETF launched today, which is great. Maybe we finally get some movement on AVAX. Doesn't feel like it though, does it? Doesn't feel like it, but hey, more on that in a bit. All right, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're brand new, by the way, and you just joined us. Welcome there with the charts. Obviously, TikTok, I apologize. You don't just have to look at my face, but that's why this stream is called Ask Me Anything About Crypto, because it's well more about talking about, and I'll try and keep it relatively like on sentiment. All right. Fat Sonic, it's literally snail pace, let me tell you. It is a snail pace. What's going on, best ever? Yeah, months from now. Maybe, yeah, month from now. ETH will be the go-to after gold. Well, we'll talk about ETH. If you're interested in ETH, stick around because we've got some super bullish news when it comes to Ethereum that I think people are sleeping on, all right? So I haven't rotated out much of my Ethereum. I'm still holding it pretty well, so I think so. I think we definitely could be in for that move. 1 year in crypto is like 25 years in the gold chart, yeah. It's like Inception all over. I'm buying Zebek. If it drops to 0.0022 area and lower, I'll buy it down. Yeah, I mean, Zebek's been a nice little trader at the minute. Solana, what do you reckon long term? Bullish. Bullish. Landa says, hello, how long does a bear market last? About a year normally. About a year. Depends though. If you said the bear market starts post October 10th, then yeah, good news. You've got about 7 months left, but generally a year. Then you start to see an uptrend. But the point of the bear market, if it is such a bear market right now, is that because the bull market was so shallow, the bear market should be relatively shallow, if this even is a bear market, all right? I closed my ETH long today. I went to get in, but I need a while to watch what happens. Yeah, I haven't traded anything. Like I said, I got not stopped out. I got TP'd on my BTC short yesterday, which was kind of annoying because it would have gone a bit lower, but hey, it is what it is. BCB still the crypto to be crash at end of February, beginning of March. Nice. Alts have been a bear for a while. All right. Good. Let's talk about a couple of key things then that's going on. What's the sentiment? Well, look at this chart here. This is telling us that we could be in for another drawdown. Oh, no. We don't want to be in that. The monthly chart, the 4-year cycle is repeating itself. In fact, I want to ask that question, by the way. Let's put that out. Let's start a poll. Do you still believe in the 4-year cycle? Yes or no? There we go. TikTok, let me know as well. Jay says, let's start calling it what it is, a bear market. Yeah. Did you see any coin before this big drop? Did you sell? So I went into stablecoin about 100. Well, I went into 50% thereabouts at 108,000. So I still hold Solana because I'm staking it. So I'm earning nearly 7% yield on that. Ethereum, and then a couple of other ones. AVAX I still hold, Pepe I still hold, because they're pretty much like gone to Goblin Town. So it's like, what's the point in selling them? I might as well just hold on to them. I think they'll be multi-cycle assets. But yeah, I got into any risk plays, so I'm not in any like super new meme coins or super new altcoins or anything like that. XRP I've got, you know, that kind of stuff. But best indicator to understand long-term trends about Bitcoin remains the 4-year cycle. Man, 86% of you guys think the 4-year cycle's done. That means that 2026 could be a bull market. For those who don't know, since 2013, Bitcoin has known 3 market cycles with the following phases. 2 years of solid growth, 1 year of the bull run, green, 1 year of the bear market. All right, this is generally how we see it. So, 1 year of bear market into 2 years of then accumulation and growth, followed by the year of like super cycle, parabolic move, banana zone, whatever you want to call it. The problem being here is that we haven't really seen the banana zone. It just hasn't happened. 125 was definitely underperforming. But if you extrapolate from previous cycles, my bear market target is 50K in October 2026, which tells us we may see a run into that point as well. Andrew says, no, interesting. You're not about in the bear markets. I like it. So yeah, the really only indicator that never failed is upon the post. So this, again, has kind of tracked it. My point would always be, though, with stuff like this, you have to be really mindful because you could just make the chart work. For example, you could move the green to here to make it look like this was the red bit. You have to be mindful of it. But the argument would be, is the 4-year cycle intact or not? And if you believe in ISM and you believe in managing US debt, then you have to believe in a 5-year cycle, not a 4-year cycle, all right? But again, you make your own decisions, all right? I just trade the charts. Fat Sonic is a great shout. Tim, that's why I'm so careful. So much news-driven stuff. Sometimes the market's super irrational right now. Super irrational. I really think this is more like 2020 after July highs. We dropped 30, 40%. Alts were destroyed. Then kaboom, Fed balance sheet and the rise. Dollar about to drop. I mean, this is kind of the thing. My view. Okay, I'm going to just state some views here. All right. And this may get me into a little bit of trouble, but I'm going to do it. I don't think the government shuts down on Friday. And I think the Fed is dovish on Wednesday. All right, there we go. It's out there. It's out there for you all. I'm making a claim. You know when you get all these people on X that are like, oh, I think Bitcoin's got to $3 million. And you're like, is it? There we are. I don't think the government shuts down. And I think the Fed is dovish rather than hawkish on Wednesday. There's my predictions. All right, you can hold it against me. I'm going to tell you why I think that is. Obviously, I'm going to back it up with some meat and two veg. All right, so Bitcoin is hugely manipulated. Is it? BTC trapped at 85 to 95 price zone while other assets see all-time high every day. You could drive yourself mental thinking about this sort of stuff, right? Can CZ be investigated? I don't think so. He's not part of an exchange, really. As much as he's affiliated with Binance, I don't believe he's actually working for anyone. He just sat on like $9 billion of a personal stash. And yeah, that's about it, really. I don't think he does anything. Goes on interviews and tells everybody that 2026 is going to be a super cycle. So yeah, it's fine. And this will be over on January 30th. They're trapped inside a massive options gamble. While the January 30th expires nearly doubled the open interest of any other day on board. Market makers are long gamma in this range. We've talked about this a number of times. Is market makers manipulating it? My view, for what it's worth, is it's about liquidity. And you can see that when you look at wallets, for example. We looked at BlackRock's yesterday. We looked at Wintermute's yesterday. When you see liquidity moving around, that is essentially what is driving price or aggressive price action, in my view. Remember, Bitcoin is the most liquidity sensitive topic or asset out there, right? So if you have low liquidity, that means price fluctuations can be big. That's why you see pumps on a Sunday or dumps on a Sunday. But why is it important? Every breakout fails, every pullback gets absorbed, and price feels artificially calm. All right, believe it if you think about it. I don't know. I kind of moved away from the whole idea that manipulation is there. I think the only thing that doesn't sit well with me was the move into, even today, by the way, the move into the potential of getting the market structure bill. We didn't see these kind of massive swings. Even today, when you look at the price of BTC, we did get a pump to, 89,000, and then it was quickly dumperinoed all the way back down. So you see here, look. We sort of opened up this morning, rallied up. We came down as low as 87.4, and within an hour had wicked up to 88,790. That's a pretty big move, by the way. That's a pretty big move, which is kind of interesting to think about. So the fact that the market structure bill has been delayed, and I did tweet about this, it's like it's delayed until Thursday. The markets are like, oh, I'm sick of it. You could say it's a little bit manipulated, but again, I think you have to be careful because you make bad decisions on that. You make bad decisions. BitTED surprise predictions. Pass at this moment in time. I don't even know what the price of it is now. I don't even know what the price of it is. Jose says, "Hey Jacob, this guy won't admit that he's deluded." I'm definitely not deluded. That's not a thing. I'm not deluded in the slightest. I may be maybe over optimistic, but I'm not deluded. I literally know mostly what I'm talking about. So. But like I said, it's always good to get people's completely unbiased opinions. Always good to have that. Right, Tau. I don't think I'm deluded. Maybe I am. Maybe I just want some more. And the bull market can't be over. I don't know. Right, what's that? 232 right now, up 3%. It's got an ETF, right? I mean, the only problem you've got is macro. This is downtrending right now. So it may rally if I was to put that on there. I'll show you this chart in a little bit. But yeah, you're probably talking right now, price prediction, 420 bucks maybe would be in line with the downtrend. Bear in mind, this topped out at 760. So think about it. By the way, it's the mouse pad. So it's an old mouse mat I've got, which I need to try and find somewhere to put. Perfect, look at that. Perfect, look at that. Yeah, maybe. All right, don't take my word for it, but that's my view. I'll show it in a minute on the chart. So, but this was kind of the point here that maybe BTC is manipulated. Maybe there's an element of it that could come in. I don't know. The January 30th approaches the gamma grip weakens when the other options expire, hedges disappear. The market goes from control to release, and that's what much gamma leaves the system at once. The move is usually fast, directional, and violent. All right? That's kind of what we talked about. That actually, if the market does move, it'll move pretty aggressively. You know, we'll see. We'll see. Lots of people have this strong view that it's manipulated and that we're going to see this absolutely insane super cycle. Many people believe the market's already done. October was in, which, by the way, if that is the case, we were only a couple of weeks out. I'm hopeful that it's not, but realistic that it could be. All right, realistic that it could be, and that gives you some idea of where some of these price levels with this gamma overlay sit. All right. Most alts will fill the October wicks to downside as a minimum. Yeah, I mean, look, alts are destroyed right now. Absolutely ruined. I mean, most alts are what, 80, 90% down outside of the occasional pump here and there. But yeah, alts are bad news. In my opinion, Zebek is a darling no-brainer pick. Have a nice... Yeah, we traded Zebek a while back. I sold it because I didn't like the way that it negatively correlated with the market. I couldn't get my head around whenever the normal market pumped, Zebek dumped. And you're like, that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so worth thinking about. Now, something else happened today, which I think is pretty interesting, and I want your thoughts on it, okay? So TikTok, I want you to put your thoughts in the comments. Likewise, YouTube, let me know what you think about this, because I think it's pretty interesting, all right? You guys might be like, oh, too bad, I don't really care about it. But look at this. BlackRock, the $14 trillion hedge fund, has filed a new premium income ETF. Now, this isn't a standard ETF, by the way. This is a different type of ETF. So you have the traditional ETFs, which is basically tracking the underlying assets. So, for example, IBIT, just you buy shares of their Bitcoin ETF. It tracks Bitcoin. If it goes up, the shares go up. If it goes, this one actually uses options to create more revenue using this ETF. All right, super interesting. So I want your thoughts on it. And this is, it's kind of out there. So you have this staking idea, right? So obviously we talked about Ethereum and the fact they want to launch the staking Ethereum one. But this whole kind of narrative here that a premium income ETF, pretty interesting, all right? So yeah, let's see what you guys think. I'm curious. Don't be shy, by the way. Don't be shy, give it a try. Yeah, gold did hit 5K mouse. Absolutely insane. Insane. Aster had a nice run today. We called that move at around 60 cents that it actually might wick up. So yeah, what's it at now? 64 or something. Yeah, pretty interesting. So let me just give you an idea, right? So it holds Bitcoin, the underlying asset. All right, that's fair to say. I'll go a good run to yeah, quite a few are, Andrew. So, and then it generates income basically by call options on Bitcoin exposure, right? So they sell options based on where price fluctuations could be. It's kind of like a hybrid Bitcoin yield ETF without it actually uses, I guess, Wall Street yield bit as opposed to it being kind of a staking approval. But what will be interesting with this ETF, by the way, is if they fast track this, which the SEC could do, by the way. Don't forget, they changed all the structure so they could fast track stuff through. I mean, why would BlackRock be launching a Bitcoin ETF, which they're going to use to trade call options on in a bear market that's going to go to zero? You got to ask yourself that question. Again, I must stress, I am not telling you that the Bitcoin bull market's going to the moon and that we're all going to get stinking rich. I am not saying that in the slightest, but I think it's super interesting that all of a sudden BlackRock are like, well, do you know what? Maybe we want a little bit more exposure here to Bitcoin. Maybe we want a premium ETF. The question will be is who uses a premium income ETF? Well, let's have a look. Let's see. The top, I don't know this answer, by the way, premium income ETFs. Let's see what they are. I'm curious. No surprise, JP Morgan comes up first. And is it going to give me a list of any? That's what I want, JP Morgan. Okay, right. Oh my God. Okay, so this is JP Morgan's JREU, all right? So the core portfolio with the JPM US Research Enhanced Index Equity Active Fund, which generates passive excess returns of over the S&P 500 at a low tracking error and a low cost, all right? What's the fund size of this mother trucker? $13 billion. All right, cool. Cool. $13 billion. Now, I'm not saying that clearly, you know, the Bitcoin one's going to take a little bit of time to get to, but yeah, that's pretty wild. And look at these returns, by the way. 30% here, negative 18, bad news when the bull market was on. 27, 24, 16. So you could argue, man, some of these could be like crazy. But yeah, $13 billion. All right, let's get it. Wild. Wild. State Street have one as well. What's this one? Oh, this one's only 705 annual, which is kind of wild. But yeah, SPY is backed by an indexing leader of 1.3 trillion in assets globally across State Streets. All right. So they could be a big deal, in fairness. Could be. We'll have to see. But yeah, pretty wild, in fairness. I heard what you said. I'm going to hold you that government don't shut down and we get good rate. No, I didn't say a good rate cut. No. Don't change the words, Craig. I said a dovish Fed. I didn't say rate cuts. There is no chance in hell we get a rate cut on Wednesday. None. Like that, I am 99% certain that we do not get a rate cut. But what I think will be said is that the economy continues to. It'll say something like, "We need to do the remind me to do the bingo card tomorrow night." He'll say something like, "The economy continues to surprise with growth," or something like that. That's my view. I think it'll be very like giveth with one and taketh with another. So I'm not saying we're getting rate cuts on Wednesday. That's not happening. But I think we could get a dovish Fed and no government shutdown on Friday. All right. There's my bullish statements. Okay. Anyway, good news here for this ETF. I think this could be a little bit more of a good news. Also, weather dependent. I can't even believe this is a thing, by the way. Weather dependent will get the Senate Agricultural Committee's rescheduled crypto market structure bill review for 10:30 a.m. on Thursday. All right. So they delayed it today. I'm not kidding you when I say this, by the way. This is absolute genuineness. They delayed it because of weather. Have they not heard of Teams, Telegram? They could have even joined our Discord and we could have set a room up for them. Like, I'm not precious about this kind of stuff, but they delayed it because of the weather. The problem being is that if they delay it again, it's going to be a bit like, okay. Then the question is, what comes first, tariffs or the market structure bill? 79% of you do not believe in the 4-year cycle anymore. Interesting. Little by little, Andrew, and then all at once. So again, we'll see. This could be good news, by the way. All right, this could be good news. Now, Ethereum. Let's talk about the obvious, the elephant in the room. Ethereum that everyone's writing off and saying it's going nowhere. Well, let's take a look. Ethereum continues to dominate venues for on-chain lending and borrowing with over 10 times lead to runner-up networks. Look at this. Ethereum is the blue line, and you can see that it absolutely is outperforming every other chain from Solana, Base, Arbitrum, BNB, Avalanche, and many, many others. ETH is skyrocketing, over $350 million of inflows into this. The most bullish signals we've seen in years, and it's getting dumped to the shadow realm. Oh no, the shadow realm. Ask yourself the question, why? Why are we going to the shadow realm, Ethereum? Because they want us to believe that we're going to zero. Also worth noting here, by the way, that actually ETH continues to stack its bags with futures and aggregated open interest continues to move up. So people are trading Ethereum like it's running out, which is kind of also insane. But this is the big one here. Look at this. The entry queue for ETH staking currently sits at 1.321 million Ethereum, which is a 22-day wait. Think about that. It's going to take you 22 days to get into a stake position on the Ethereum chain. And remember when everyone was going, oh my God, Ethereum cashing out. It's at all-time highs. It's going to be the biggest crazy dump you've ever seen in your entire life. Well, it's 2 hours now to get your Ethereum out of there. So maybe that's not the case. Albeit people would say, whoa, you bet. We were at like $3,000, $4,500. We're down now at $2,800. That's a dump in my opinion. And I would say you are correct. But my belief on the world computers stay unchanged. That Ethereum could be the one that gets even more bullish. By the way, 2.84% APR on Ethereum staking is wild. You get nearly 7% on Solana. So think about that. Now, this is a pretty interesting one as well. Demand for long-term Japanese bonds is collapsing. Oh no, the bond market's going to zero. Why? Because everyone's buying freaking gold. Japanese issuers sold $822.4 billion of bonds with a maturity of 10 plus years in December, the most ever. This is kind of aligned to what we were talking about the other night, that basically the Japanese economy is going to the shadow realm and it is going to Goblin Town. The fifth straight monthly sale, the longest streak in the last 20 years. That's why you've got the Fed wanting to step up. Japan may collapse the global economy that we know. Do you know what Japan won't collapse? Bitcoin. Pretty interesting. Unrealized losses on domestic bonds held by 4 Japanese life issuers reached nearly 11.3 trillion, which is about $71 billion at the end of September. So they are literally, I mean, you think you're hard done by holding on to your, like, you know, AVAX like I am in a hope that it's going to go up. Like some people are like $70 billion in the hole and they're like, I'm going to keep holding. Jerome Powell's going to save us. But yeah, pretty wild that we are seeing this kind of collapse in the Japanese market. The Fed's going to have to step in. Maybe that's why they're building the TJ account up. Maybe. Just maybe watch out. All right. And then some more lighthearted news because you know why not? The Trump accounts. I don't even know what this is. I have no idea. But watch live on X. The President of the United States and Secretary Scott Bessent will be heading to the Trump Accounts Summit broadcast from the historic Mellon Auditorium in Washington. The summit will highlight the Trump Accounts Initiative, providing $1,000 for every American child born between January the 1st, 2025 and December the 31st, 2028, with special guests such as Nicki Minaj, Cheryl Hines, Kevin O'Leary, Caroline Leavitt, Senator Ted Cruz, Michael Dell, Brad Gressner, and more. I mean, Nicki Minaj. Fair play. Fair play. Read a report that Russia has sold nearly 75% of their gold. China's the one to watch. China and the banks have been absolutely stacking like you won't believe. But yeah, silver off for $100, 96 back test. Well, maybe. Yeah, we said silver might come back down again. But yeah, this could be an interesting one, actually. This could be a stimulus to the market. This could be one of those things where people are a bit like, oh, okay, maybe he's actually doing what he said he was going to do. So, you know, watch out for that. And then look, here we go. The date for the two most critical institutions regulating the cryptocurrency has changed. Oh no! The event previously scheduled for Jan 27th is postponed. This is all to do with the market structure bill. Again, don't hold your breath. It's probably going to get delayed again. All right, just telling you how it is. It's probably going to get delayed again. Watch out. US government shutdown, though. This is what we're all talking about. As you can see here, 78% chance that the government shutdown, it's going down. I'm yelling timber. No shutdown. No shut. TikTok loves this. What's up, Logitech? Good to see you, buddy. So yeah, 78% chance that we are going to see this come down. Pretty interesting. Now, the reason why I think this is, by the way, is basically this. It's all to do with what we were talking about last night. Not all, that's not fair actually, but mostly to do with all the stuff going on in Minnesota. Well, allegedly, Tim Walz has spoken to Donald Trump and they've agreed for an independent review and all this kind of stuff. So maybe Trump's kind of like, look, we just need this government not to shut down because it's going to be bad news. Maybe Walz's line, I don't know. But I guess progress on a very short scale. I don't want to get into the politics of it. Certainly not what I'm here for, but could then end up hopefully moving forward with it. I believe that the reason the Democrats are going to shut the government down or why they're going to vote no for the spending bill is purely down to funding from Homeland Security and they want her fired. Now, I don't know much about, what's her name? Christine Nome or something? I don't know much about her personally, but hey, we will see what that looks like. But progress, all right? Hopefully this starts to drop down and hopefully we don't get a government shutdown. Remember, last time, 24%. Bad news if we get a government shutdown, all right? Bad news indeed. I don't know why my leg's hurting so much while I'm talking. I need to stretch my leg out here. All right. So worth noting, by the way, on that one, I think these could play out as two very big catalysts this week. Democrats vowed to block funding for the Department of Homeland Security while some GOP lawmakers call for more oversight. So it's kind of one of those things, isn't it? Maybe if they get more oversight, they may be more inclined to put it through. You know, we'll see. We'll see. Some Democratic pledge to block funding for Department of Homeland Security unless changes are made to the rein in the federal emergency operations following the killing of Alex Preti, a 37-year-old intensive care unit nurse. All right. 4-year cycle still intact. OMG. You are in the minority, in fairness. 78% of people trading. No, 78% of people on YouTube think that the 4-year cycle is dead. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, technically at the minute, it probably still is intact. It probably still is intact, if you ask me, but we will see. All right. We will see. Good. Good. If you haven't already, by the way, hit up the like button to a brand new all-time high. Also, just really, really quickly, if you haven't already signed up to Bitunix to do all of your trading, check out this exclusive offer for the 2-bit crypto community. Definitely worth your time. Head on over there. Grab an account. It is absolutely worth it. 50% rebates on your deposits. Come and trade all your favorite cryptocurrencies. We were trading here yesterday, looking at some potential moves. Man, BTC is rallying a little bit. We might see another breakout here for 88,000. So, yeah, pretty nice. So if you are interested, definitely check out the link in the description and head on over here and get your favorite account signed up. It's worth it. Also, don't forget, join our free Discord. Link in the description. You can get involved with everything going on in that Discord. It is highly recommended, by the way. Super cool community. And yeah, if you want a little bit more, become a channel member. Get access to our bots and everything else that's in there. Support your trading using Bitunix and our free Discord. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. All right. Good. Good. I just posted the link in there as well. So hopefully we get a little bit of a break right now on BTC. We're on the 15-minute here at the 20-day EMA, 87,864. Let's bring the order book up because I always like watching the order book. I think it's just good to see kind of what's going on. And then I want to look at not BitTensor because we looked at that. I want to look here. Oh, look here. All right, there's the order book. Yeah, so let's do 100 on futures. All right, so we can kind of see what's happening here. We can kind of see what's happening here. I see what's happening here. It's funny, isn't it? Sometimes when you come to Arkham, it like stops you having a look at BlackRock, unless it's down, maybe. Maybe it's down. I don't know. All right, I think we could see a big pump and dump, probably 89 to 90K before Friday. Craig, that'd be wild. Yeah, look at this. Some nice contracts coming in right now. Look at that. $1.2 million futures contract at 87,944. Here we go then. Wipe out some of this liquidity, baby. Let's get this moving. Let's get it grooving. Let's send this to the freaking moon. We are breaking out. Well, breaking out's not fair, actually. That's not a sensible decision to say. But yeah, look, some nice futures contracts coming in right now. $500,000 here, 400K here. It's a bit of a small one. So what you don't want to see then is loads of selling on the back of it. We want to just see, you know, people chill out. Hopefully then grab some more big futures contracts. And that's how we kind of get bullish. All right. So let's hope we get it. Just like we got, you know, $250,000. There we are. Look, nice 400K one. So I think we're going over 88K. We'll see. We'll see. Government shut down. Pump the markets. Right. All right, good. Well, if you've got any questions, any thoughts, by the way, TikTok, feel free to ask away. Also, don't forget, tap that screen, lock in those likes, and get bullish, because we're here all week as well, as always. So make sure you're all over that. I was just going to say there's some breaking news, but I don't think there is. I don't think there is. And yeah, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think the market's going to go up? Do you think it's going to go down? New Rich Reeves is set to announce a $300 million bailout package for pubs tomorrow in the light of the business rates impact. Okay. Okay. Good news. Well, it's better than nothing, I guess. The new Clarity Act seeks to clarify U.S. regulation by divine oversight between the SEC. Okay, so they've officially announced this now as a vote on the Congress move. Okay, yeah. Financial services, agricultural, Senate, banking, housing, and urban affairs is set for Thursday, I think. Looking at this, yeah. At 4 p.m. 10. Oh, no. Committee meetings. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see where that one goes. Man, yeah, look at this. Bitcoin just got faked out. Bro, come on. What? Absolute fakerino. 630K sells. Look at this. Nearly a milli sells. Ah, get out of here. Bruh. Enjoying those longs. Let's come to the spot market. It's way better at the spot market. We'll see what's going on here. Way, way better. All right. Good. Okay, well, let's keep an eye on what's going on here with BTC. A little bit of a sell-off. Old still holding up, by the way. Algorand, someone said in the chat, looking just beneath the 20-day here on the 15-minute. So actually looks okay, in fairness. Monad had a nice little move today as well at 4.5%. So, yeah. All I know is I'm trying to short hype, and it's not really. I don't even have hype on here. Should we put it on there? Hype. Savior of the universe. Just man, it's not with Memecoins, isn't it? Yeah, probably here actually. Man, it's 10.45%. Wild. Why is hype going crazy? Like, why is it pumping? Anyone? Serge says, I definitely think we're upcoming government shutdown is most likely it's going to happen. We're partially shut down. We're going to see some heavy volatility. I don't think it's partially shut down, right? I think they've said that some of it's funded. If anything, I think it's less likely to get a full shutdown than more, maybe. That's exactly when I stand. I wouldn't touch leverage right about now. All mine is spot buys, and I will buy if the government do shut down. Well, that's it. Canton is holding it well. Yeah, Canton's looking pretty solid. Nice 7% move here. Again, look at the support line that we've got on the 15 minutes. So Canton actually looks pretty good. Come out to the 4-hour. It's a nice little bullish move. Again, though, look at this 20 EMA. Honestly, the 20 EMA has been crushing it recently, especially on longs. Like, look at that structure right now. Came down, retested on the 50, bounced perfectly on the 50, held the 20-day, came back down, retested this low range, and then bounced back to the upside. You know, these are some key ones. That's why I'm watching Zcash right now. If Zcash breaks 367, this could be a nice trade here. But again, for me, needs to break 367. Markets still need to hold in, but a break above that could be pretty optimistic. TikTok, do you want to see this? I always forget. Yeah, look at this. Break above 367 may be pretty bullish here on Zcash, especially if you go like, look at the shorter range. We are about to test this. It's perfectly on the 200 EMA as well. So what you want to see here is something that would break through, probably comes to something like this, 372 line, and then retest it. So up to 372, come back down to retest this, make the resistance become support, and then you'd be looking for a bounce. For me, TP1 would be something like 387. That would be the worst move in the world if you went from where we are from here. 4%, not bad. I'd be happy to see Canton break 50 cents. I mean, the privacy narrative will move again. Don't forget, have you seen what they've just announced in the UK? Like, it's insane. It is insane. So, not that I'm going to shill for anything specific, but the UK just announced that they are going to basically ban kids from using VPNs, right? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But when you then see why that's bad, you essentially, and I don't use VPNs, I don't endorse using VPNs, all that kind of stuff, right? If you can't do something, don't do it. That's my opinion. But essentially, the House of Lords vote to ban UK children from using internet VPNs. How do you use them as an adult? You have to KYC on a VPN. Now, again, KYC is not bad unless you're up to something you shouldn't be. At the same time, though, if you wanted to use crypto, trading exchanges, do all that, and live in the anonymity that's afforded to you by cryptography and the crypto market, you essentially are going to have to KYC to use a VPN. That's insane. That's insane. It's basically another way of tracking what you're doing. So at some point, very soon, here in the UK, you will absolutely have zero anonymity when it comes to the market. Like, it's crazy. And it's done under the proviso of protecting kids. Now, FYI, I'm a parent. I have 3 children. But what I can tell you and commit to is my kids would have restrictive access to the internet, and I'll make sure they don't do it. It's literally like one of those crazy things. Just make it happen as a parent. Like, what? Anyway, exactly, Curtis. That's the insanity about it. That's the insanity about it. So, it's crazy to me. It's crazy. PERP is up 50%. Wow. What is that? Purple Pepe or something? I've never actually used a VPN. I think enough people have got my... yeah, I mean, maybe, Craig. Maybe. Man, that hype trade is wild, actually. Hype's looking pretty bullish. Okay. Let's go back and just keep an eye on what's going on with BTC here on the 15-minute. I'd like to see us break back into this channel, which would be good. Whether we get there or not is probably a different debate, but we'll see. On the 1 hour candle here, the 20-day held up pretty well. On the back of that dump yesterday, that consistent outflow, like dump. We'll take a look at pre-markets as well. That's probably going to be a interesting one. But yeah, the UK, man, it's wild at the minute. It is wild at the minute. Pre-markets. Oh my gosh, I'm pretty close to that screen as always. Pretty close to that screen. Hype is extremely random anymore. Sometimes it dumps out of nowhere. Fat Sonic is wild, isn't it? So what have we got on the pre-markets, just to give you guys a flavor of what to expect tomorrow here on CNBC. The Dow Jones looks like it's going to be up, as does the S&P 500. The NASDAQ looks like it's going to be strong. You also have a reasonably flat open in Asia. So the Hong Kong Stock Exchange looks flat. The Shanghai and the STI both look a little bit negative. Nothing super crazy. So that could be interesting. Gold and commodities continue to look pretty bullish. Natural gas. I mean, who would have thought natural gas would have gone to the moon, but it has. Absolutely insane here on natural gas. And what is what it is. And then you've also got US Treasuries look like they're going to continue to dump. So why are US Treasuries dumping? That's the question. What are your thoughts on the market in the next few weeks? Difficult one to tell. I think ask me Wednesday, because I think Wednesday will probably give us a view of what's going on. Don't forget, first week in Feb, that's when it could be really tasty. I guess first week in Feb is probably the week where we go, yep, the market's completely cooked and we're all going to zero. Or you go, oh, well, actually, maybe we've got some tunes, yeah. I'm like, oh, hype is doing okay. I should hedge the short. Boom. So, yeah, so obviously this week we got the Federal Reserve interest rate decision. No expectations of a reduced rate. I think that's fair. Friday is PPI, which could be interesting. Forecast consensus all aligned at 0.2, as well as a potential government shutdown. Like I said earlier, though, I'm going for no government shutdown, all right? I'm going to go out there. And then Monday, the February the 2nd, we get the ISM manufacturing data. Imagine that comes in like bullish. Imagine that comes in at 51. I have a funny feeling it won't, though. What do they call natural gas? So, yeah, I think it's hard to give a full, like, oh, I think the market's going to be good, or I think it's going to be bad, until we probably get a little bit more data in a minute. Because, you know, even this dump here is like, oh, why is that, you know, done that? Obviously, there's all the stuff with Iran as well we've got to be mindful of that. Yeah, markets are super jittery right now. So you could tomorrow we could open markets and you're like, oh, everything feels all right. And markets feel a little bit bullish. And then it's like, kaboom, we're all going to Goblin Town. Perpetual protocol. I don't even know what that is. Should I know what that is? I feel like maybe I should. FOMC is the 28th. Is it not? Is that before or after the government shutdown? Before. It's Wednesday, Craig. It's literally not tomorrow. The day after is the FOMC. Beebs, I think I am more and more inclined to agree with you, which essentially means that BlackRock are going to be in charge of the Federal Reserve. I mean, they're not really, but you get my point. You get my point. So, yeah. Pretty wild if you ask me. Right, Perpetual Protocol. Is it that one? No. It might not be. It might not be. I'm not seeing it on the DeFi. It must be on a coin and market cap. Sorry to be a bit late. We still go to Goblin Town. 37. Not today. Not today. Which is kind of all right, really. I guess. Oh yeah, Perpetual. Oh my god, yeah, it is up. Oh my god, it's up 50%. What the heck is this? We looked at this before, didn't we? Perpetual Protocol. Well, it might have been you that brought it up actually. I mean, fair play. It's up 50%. It's still terrible though as a longer term, but hey, if you got into the bottom, that's why sometimes I always remember Michael Mabry being like buying Mononoke, and I'm like, why are you buying that? And it would like pump 40%. Okay, good news. Oh, JFL, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Right, man, BTC just topped 80k. No, it didn't. It topped 88k then. So I still rally coming in right now. It's not spot markets, so these are people hedging on futures. That's wild, actually, right now. That is wild, man. Some big futures markets. Maybe people are like, maybe we're the bears. Maybe we're not bullish enough. Look at this. Some big contracts coming in at 88,000 right now, pushing the price up. Pushing the price up. 88,140. Nice. Nice little wick up here. Let's see. See, look at these. These are all triggers right now that are coming in. So you can see where some of these are. Again, these are buyers stepping in. Where you're seeing a lot of this sells, in my opinion, particularly hitting some of these levels. These are absolutely where you've got buy orders and sell orders set. But yeah, look at that. Interesting. TikTok, do you want to see this? It's kind of, I think it's kind of interesting watching this stuff. This is the Bitcoin buy order, basically, from a number of exchanges. So you can see here on the right-hand side, these are futures contracts. Look at that. Another milli bought in. So yeah, feels like BTC is trying to rally a little bit here. Big liquidity zones right now. Look at this. 88,300 needs to break 600 BTC, but if we can get a couple more $1 million futures contracts in, we may well get a little push here. Bitcoin trying to break out. Where's the next key level of resistance? Probably a little bit higher. 88,250 maybe. 88,250 if we can kind of wick up a few more. Might give us a little bit more momentum here. Looks like BTC wants to push. Have you ever watched BTC charts live? Yeah, oh no, not on a YouTube channel. We used to have the like bloom, 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 bloom thing that we occasionally would put on, but yeah, I mean, I did think about just putting a charts channel on and just having it live streaming all day, but what's the point? Like, wild. It's wild. But yeah, here comes the sell-off. And the gaps to fill the 89 range and 93 range, so this is to be expected price movement. As in liquidity pockets. Yeah, I mean, look, you've got some lower levels of liquidity here. Look at this. So 89,500 between 89.1 and 89.5 is a relatively low. I mean, look at this stacked. Once we break 88.5, by the way, so you know when people start to talk about liquidity zones, and you can obviously look at them from a full-on, in fact, let me bring it up. You can look at it from a full-on liquidity area. Actually, you can start to see where some of these pockets sit in. This is why you can get such, aggressive price action sometimes, not all the time. But yeah. Sounds like a classic ping ball. Yeah, occasionally we would bring it in. Occasionally. It's very difficult to listen to for a prolonged period of time, though. That's all I will say. Let's bring the heat map up and let's take a look. So, yeah. So again, what you can see here is, let's bring the 3-day one. You can see a little bit of liquidity building, but there's a lot downside again. So, You know, these are short. What would these be? Long sellers, sorry. So, you know, these are longs building up down here. Shorts kind of, this is the problem I think we have a number of times. Shorts seem to chicken out way quicker than longs, don't they? The longs are like, I'm going to hold to the moon. And it doesn't quite get there and they just get absolutely wrecked. But these are all short positions that are starting to accumulate. $100 million there, about 86.5K. But, you know, as it sits right now, you know, we could see a little bit further upside. What you probably don't want to do is see loads of long leverage come in. Like, don't see loads of long leverage. It's wild. But yeah, we'll see. Ondo says, as long as you don't evade the disaster, mate, we're good. Yeah, absolutely. I'll try my best not to. So yeah, look at this. So you can see some selling off right now. So these are, you know, people just closing futures contracts right now, which is wild. Still, a decent bounce back after the challenge is in. Scott knows what's going on, buddy. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Gianluca in the house. Always good to have you, buddy. Yeah, we'll keep an eye. I mean, BTC right now, that's a nice little move above the above the 200-day EMA. So, you know, nice little kind of play here. Again, though, we're looking for a little bit more confirmation, in my opinion. So, back onto this line, $89,000 close would be good news. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good, thank you. I'm all good. You know, if we can get that, great. If we don't, then we're not. Curtis says I'm a double down on Ondo. I mean, Ondo's probably not a bad shout, in fairness. Let's take a look. 33 cents right now. It is very much in a decline. I mean, the question you'd have to ask yourself on Ondo is, at what price are you trying to get in? I mean, it could even wick down as low as 27 cents, which would be pretty freaking insane if it did, but pretty insane if it went all the way that down. It's at a low right now, in fairness, is Ondo. So, yeah, it could be a steal. Could be. Again, though, my view, and like I said, I'm not bought anything on spot. I've been close, but yeah. Been close. But, you know, if Ondo can push back up, then, yeah, good news. But, I mean, right now, this is as low as we've been for, man, this entire move. So, do you have XP? And yeah, I can track. I have XRP ETF tracker if you want me to bring that up. I got it all, bro. I got it all. Currently sitting at 786.46 million XRP. That means some came out. That means some sold. There was some outflows here, but yeah, Bitwise still stacking around 10.2, 22 million in volume is not great, is it? It's not great. It's okay though, but it's not super great. I'd way like to see more than that, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Not worth losing much sleep over. XRP at 188. Interesting. Look at this move on XRP. We said this yesterday. The bounce off this. Look at this, TikTok. I literally said about this move here. I was like, watch this break from that channel. Look. Pretty much nailed it. Nailed it. Would you recommend me selling my Flare for Ondo? I can't recommend you do anything like that. All I would say is research both of them. Flare, I think, looks worse, but has the has yield in it. Where's Flare at right now? So Flare's at 1 cent, essentially, and it's 88% down from all-time highs. And I mean, Flare is at the bottom right now. It probably, if it's going to go lower, it's going to go to 208, and that's about as low as you could see. So Flare could break out to the upside. Ondo, like we said, is slightly different, a slightly newer coin. When's the Ondo airdrop? Is it this week? I mean, Ondo's not far off being all-time low as well, which is kind of wild as well. But yeah, Flare's about to stop airdrop, though. Should be bullish. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm not worried about it falling. Goblin Town, my limit buys down there long anyway. Well, there you go. It's all about that. It's all about that. Yeah, BTC, these definite attempts, should we say, trying to break out is interesting. When is the altcoin, when's the Ondo token unlock? Manta. Man, is anyone still trading that thing? I mean, it's up, Manta Network, it's up 13%, which is kind of wild. Kind of wild. I mean, looks absolutely awful. But again, this is the coin. You know, if you trade the bottom, it's generally a pretty good news. So when is this Ondo token unlock? It is. Emissions until the 26th today. Oh, was it today? All. Is Ondo? Well, here we go. This is the token unlock schedule. I thought. Am I missing it here? Upcoming. Oh, January the 18th. Oh, that's past. 1 year left. All right, so we haven't got upcoming unlocked. All right, so it's unlocked then. Oh, maybe Ondo is at the bottom then. Yeah, Fat Sonic, you're right. Yeah, we missed the 18th, so it was like a week ago. Well, maybe Ondo is. I mean, there's probably not a bad shout, actually. Probably both of them, maybe at an absolute low point, which could give us a view. Everyone was panicking that we were going to see this massive unlock on Ondo, but it feels like it's been done. So the next big unlock is 34% of the release supply, and it's coming in a year's time. All right, cool. Not stressing that then. Happy days. So maybe. 1.7 billion every year until 2029. Interesting. Hope you're all still bullish. XRP Army, Levi Crypto Crusader in the building. Going on, buddy? Welcome in. Yeah, we were just talking about Flare, actually. Flare's FXRP is pretty interesting. What's that number at right now? What's Flare's FXRP? Where is that one at? Because don't forget, for every FXRP that's removed from the chain, or that's minted, sorry, they will remove an XRP from there as well. So pretty bullish. Pretty bullish. Yeah, I know, Curtis. I know. Ondo makes me sad, not going to sell it though. I mean, that's true, Stu. I feel that pain. 100% feel that pain as well. So, yeah, I mean, FXRP is pretty interesting. Again, for me, obviously it removes XRP from the chain, which is good news. And could then be, way more bullish than we've kind of seen. So, I'm down for it. Right, let me see if I can get this number for you guys. FXRP. January 24th. I can't see the last number. Oh, hold on a minute. FXRP. No, that's not it. That's not it. FXRP TVL 1.85 million on STXRP. So that's the yield bearing one. So yeah, I mean that's not the end of the world, I guess. That's not the end of the world, is it? That's not crazy numbers. I mean, I'd like it to be about 5 billion, but I guess 1.85 million is better than nothing. Talent says, what thoughts on SLV? Is that meant to be silver or is that actually a crypto coin? I mean, silver, I've talked about it. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Everybody, silver is dumping. Everyone's going to buy Bitcoin. I wish. Silver is actually dumping though. Look, I mean, it's not dumping. It's dumping from its all-time high. So at 117, it's now down. Imagine you FOMO'd the top here. Imagine you FOMO'd the top on silver. Oh, no. Oh, no. Someone shout rotation. Yeah, gold's barely clinging on at 0.41% for the day. So we could see these go negative, What's Bitcoin doing? So Bitcoin is moving a little bit. But yeah, silver looking a bit weak, actually, if we're absolutely dead honest. And again, I 100% want the silver and gold markets to crash. Hopefully. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Break-in on one of the largest intraday reversals in history. Silver has completely erased its 14% gain and turned red. Silver just erased $900 billion of market cap in 90 minutes. What? What? There you go. Silver. Let's hope so high. Only have to wait 15 years to break even on your silver again. I mean, Jim Cramer said on CNBC today that he actually owns Bitcoin. Really? Oh, we're all doomed. Brooke says it won't happen. It's just catching up to the fair price. Yeah, but if you FOMO the top at 117, $900 billion just got wiped off the silver market. That's wild. I mean, it's rallying back a little bit now, but still. Gianluca, you know it. Brooks says, I told people this was coming. What, the dump or the pump? Sorry, my feet are cold. Are you an XRP holder? Yes. Crypto with Klaus. What's going on? Yeah, I am. Yeah, we've been buying XRP since about 35 cents here on the channel. So, yep, hold XRP. One of my bigger bags. I think hold about $60 of it. Bullish. Jason All-Time is always a great move. 100%. Monetary system shift is what is this signals. I mean, that's true. I mean, I guess maybe people believe if Bitcoin rallies, that's the bigger debate, isn't it? I mean, Bitcoin 1.74, if the crypto market can get back above 3 trillion, which in fairness, since we went live, we're actually seeing a nice green candle here in the overall crypto market. Look at this, the last hour, big candle here on BTC and the broader market, 2.95 trillion right now. So maybe Bitcoin rallies, maybe commodities dump. This would be good news, although silver is rallying back right now. So yeah, pretty interesting. Bitcoin's use case test is now, that's true. That's true. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I guess you can't make a gold ring out of Bitcoin. But yeah, I mean, silver's rallying back up again. So this may be just a big sell-off in terms of profit taking. Does it rally? I mean, gold may rally as well. Futures still look very optimistic, by the way, on silver. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Brooke, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I do think, and I said this yesterday, and I've said this most nights actually. I do think at some point the silver and the commodities market will roll over. It's always happened. It might not be this year. It might be next month. It might be the end of the week. Who knows? But I do think at some point it will roll over and we'll see a sell-off. If they can sell off nearly $1 trillion of silver in 90 minutes, I absolutely believe this market can roll over. The debate will then be, do people mass panic and go into cash, or do they look for a potential more risk-on asset, especially if things like interest rates have come down? People got $1,000 for their kids. They get $3,000 in terms of stimulus checks. All of that, if that ends up playing out, then maybe we get a little bit more of an optimistic move. But again, my thesis is still short-term bearish, long-term bullish. That's where I sit. Silver and gold doing precise what it is. Yeah, no, it's because it's been artificially suppressed. What is Bitcoin? Mariam, what's going on? It's been overprinted and overpromised. You confused me now. Do you mean cash, or you can't mean Bitcoin? You must mean cash. Bitcoin is a digital toilet paper. That's it. Oh no, silver. All right, okay. Japanese reverse trade hitting a 30-year high. Well, I mean, we'll wait and see if the Fed actually step in and see what happens. I mean, yeah, silver was suppressed for a while. In fairness, that was definitely a discussion. Obviously, all eyes are on Japan, albeit the Japanese yen versus the dollar is up again 0.95, and the actual currency itself 0.7. So we'll see. We'll see. That is coming unwound. Yeah, I mean, loads of people think there's billions and billions and billions of dollars. I'm not sure it's as bad as people think it is. I'm not sure. I could be totally wrong. You can't really track it, I don't think. Certainly, I don't know if you can. I mean, some people may say they can, but I'm not sure. So as of late January 2026, the exact amount remaining in the Japanese yen carry trade is a moving target, but major institutional estimates generally peg the active speculative portion at approximately 500 billion, while the total pool of Japanese funded global assets is a staggering 3.2 trillion to 20 trillion, depending on how broadly you define the trade. Holy crap, that would be wild, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? There you go. So, So the game changer, roughly 500 billion outstanding yen carry positions that Morgan Stanley estimates still floating around 0.25% borrowing yen to buy high yield assets made perfect sense at 7.5, potentially 1.25 or higher mid-26. The maths gets considerably less attractive. 20 trillion! What? Yeah. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? 20 trillion. Imagine how bad that would get. Let's hope not. All right, Fairground, what's going on, bud? Let's hope we don't unwind $20 trillion. Estimated amounts on long-term capital of institutional assets sit at 3.2 trillion to 4 trillion, representing Japanese insurance companies, pension funds, and banks that own foreign bonds like US Treasuries. Well, we've looked at US Treasuries before. I mean, Japan's still a net buyer of Treasuries, which is kind of wild if you think about it. And then the shadow carry trade is estimated amounts up to $20 trillion, which is, I mean, obviously lots of things are speculation right now. But yeah, the yen carry trade size is smaller than feared at 261 billion versus claims of trillions. Okay, maybe. Macro indicators suggest the Bank of Japan may go neutral in 26, easing pressure on the carry trade. Well, doesn't look like they are. Doesn't look like they are, so we'll see. Price action makes more sense. It's beginning to green up. I mean, a little bit, yeah. I mean, the interesting one, like we said, is we're just watching silver and gold. I mean, yeah, it's kind of coming back. Not super crazy, though. So, yeah, I mean, maybe there is. I still think numbers are really, like, a bit all over the place, aren't they? The Economic Times sits at about sits at around $3 trillion to $4 trillion. So, maybe. I guess the maths would be what works on 0.75. What is the Bank of Japan interest rate right now, by the way? 0.75? What is it? Yeah, 0.75. Okay, cool. Yeah, 0.75. So you can see there how that's kind of gone up. So the next one is due 1st of Feb. 1st of Feb. Oh, no, Bank of Japan summary of options. The decision is 19th of March. Oh, okay, cool. So we've got a little bit of time then between that. I mean, it does kind of go up a little bit. But Daniel, what's going on, bud? But yeah, all right, stick that in your diaries then, because that might be a little bit more interesting as we sort of walk through that. So February, technically, we kind of get a bit of a month off from potential unwinding of the Japanese carry trade. All right, perfect. We'll take it. We'll take it. All right. All right. Well, we'll see. I mean, is silver about to fall off a cliff? That's the debate. I mean, maybe it comes and retests the 200 EMA at $100. Maybe. Gold at 40%. I mean, I just keep seeing this stuff that's like, oh, silver and gold wiped out. What was the number I just saw? What was the number I just saw then? Breaking gold and silver erased $1.7 trillion of market cap in 90 minutes in one of the largest reversals in history. It does give you perspective on, though, the crypto market, doesn't it? That, like, here we are and we're like, oh, we're just under $3 trillion. Think about it. Think about it. The gold and silver market just wiped out half of the entire cryptocurrency's market cap in 90 minutes. Gold has gone up today, mate. Yeah, it's crashed in the last 90 minutes, though. It's still up, you're right, but not by much at all. It's up 0.4. Bear in mind, gold was up. Man, what was gold up? Like, it was over $5,000 right now. It's crashed nearly 2%. That's pretty freaking wild. Pretty wild. And like I said, silver at 103 has erased that. But like $1.7 trillion. Man, it makes you feel ill. Imagine that. Imagine you FOMO'd gold and FOMO'd silver. Like, that's insane, isn't it? Think about it. That would be crazy talk, bro. Thoughts on Seeker? I have no idea. Have we looked at this before? I feel like maybe we have. Is this the new Solana phone or something? Man, it's up 27% right now. Okay, 157 on market cap. Volume is bullish at 107 as well. Is this new? Yeah, is this the new Solana phone thing? Man, it's on Coinbase. I did not know that. It's on Coinbase, Bybit, BitGet. Man, it's on quite a few actually. I don't even know what it is. Is it the new Solana phone? Let's have a look. Yeah, Solana, the definitive Web3 mobile phone. Powered by SKR. All right. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, Solana mobile. Do you get free Solana with it? I mean, in theory, look at that chart right now. It's at 28. It wicked out to a total high of 57. So 5 cents 7. It's at 2 cents 8. It's lost 50% already from its initial pump. Maybe like this could be an interesting one. Any gold up there in Yorkshire, mate? No, not at all. Just tea and Hovis. Thanks, Bob. What about IMU? I'm interested in the Seeker Mobile. Maybe it's an opportunity to get in. Maybe we should buy some. IMU, Immuify. I don't even know what this is either. $7 million market cap, 29% up of the day. Is this another launcher today? Yeah, it's another launcher today. I don't like the fact it's way below its launcher price, but it's on another one on Coinbase. Again, I don't know what this is. What's this one? Safeguard crypto from threats. Join the mission and save cryptocurrency. Total value Immuify protected. $56 billion. All right. What is it, like a security platform? Fueled by Immutify, the forge behind on-chain security, the biggest one. All right. I mean, the chart looks okay, in fairness. Both of them probably look like a potential buy-in. Scott's Notes, thank you so much, man, for the You're Awesome. You're awesome, bro. Thank you so much, pal. Whippets and homing pigeons in Yorkshire. You get to believe it. Yorkshire tea while on a 12-hour shift, mate. Oh, I don't know what tea is. Here it is. In my crypto mug, in my Christmas mug. You know what we're about here on the channel. Christmas every single day. Yeah, I mean, both of them definitely look interesting. I mean, right now, Immutify looks like it is on another dip. But yeah, the last one we looked at, that Solana one looks pretty interesting. Doesn't mean it's going to go up though. Remember, future performance is not an indicator of past performance is not a future indicator. Gotta be mindful of that. But interesting with BTC right now, hovering 88,000. Definitely some pretty big contracts going in. Look, another 891k BTC contract that went in there now. So holding 88,000. So, you know, hopefully we sort of get a nice wick. This was a nice little buy. And look at that. It was an absolute tranche of futures contracts coming in. Some pretty interesting movements going on right now. Pretty interesting movements. Nothing super crazy though, but oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I was gonna see where we were with that. 76, look at this, government shutdown. Oh, 75, it's down 6% since we went live. 2 bits gonna be right. Can you imagine? 75% that we will not see a government shutdown. Let's hope not. No one wants to see the government shutdown. We want to see Bitcoin to the moon. Send it to the moon, everybody. We will see. All right, we will see. That's my view. That's my view. By the way, if you haven't already hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, remember every day I'm here live streaming on TikTok and on YouTube, bringing you the most up-to-date content I could possibly think, as well as the amazing community that we've built. And don't forget, if you want to be part of that, jump into our free Discord, link in my bio and in the description. Again, it's super cool community in there. And if you want a little bit more, grab a channel membership, subscribe here on TikTok, gives you access to our premium Discord, and literally you can get into the bots, the TA courses, all that stuff, as well as indicators and everything else you need to be successful, or certainly to give yourself the best possible chance at trading. All right, so check them out. Links all wherever you need them to go. By the way, you do have to pass a pretty simple test to get into the Discord, in which so many people, for whatever reason, can't do. And if you can't do it, guess what happens? You just get yeeted. All right, we don't want any, bad people in our Discord. So everyone that got in today, I'm arguing, is either a complete scam or they don't know what they're doing. So we get rid of them all. We eat them out. We eat them out. Oh, someone just asked if anyone's invested in Cent. How is that doing, by the way? Take care, pal. Scott's Notes, thanks, man. Hope you come and join us tomorrow night. How is that doing? What have we got here, by the way? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, there it is. Cent. Oh, wow. I got nuked hard. What is that at right now? 1.3. Oh, for flipping heck's sake. Breaking news, everybody. Breaking news, everybody. Ah, for fucking God's sake. Our trade deals are very important to America. In each of these deals, we've acted swiftly to reduce our tariffs in line with the transactions agreed. We, of course, expect our trading partners. South Korea's legislature is not living up to deal with the United States. President Lee and I reached a great deal for both countries, reaffirmed, and because the Korean legislature hasn't enacted our historic trade agreement, I am hereby increasing South Korean tariffs on autos, lumber, farm, and all of the reciprocal tariffs from 15 to 25. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Come on, Trump. Stop putting tariffs on. Short the market, everybody. Short the market, quick. Maybe no one cares. Hopefully, I mean, XRP might dump because it's South Korea, but maybe no one cares. Ugh. The problem is everyone goes, oh, well, if he's prepared to do it on that, that means he's prepared to do it on everything else. That's the problem. So keep your eyes peeled. It might be about to go to Goblin Town. Wow, yeah, I didn't realize Cent was going to be this. 1.3 million. That is pretty painful. Yeah, Trump's absolutely sending us to Goblin Town. Like he's bought us the tickets. He's like, go to Goblin Town. Oh, come on, bro. Anyway, cheers for that. Great news. Great news. All right, Bitcoin selling off a little bit. Nothing crazy. I mean, it's 10%. It's not the end of the world. South Korea, it's not the end of the world. It's not like we, slapped 100% tariffs on, the EU or something insane like that. But yeah, watch for the market dip. Like I said, maybe it doesn't care. Maybe it just continues and says, hey, I don't care. Maybe silver dumps. Maybe silver pumps because Trump's like, hey, maybe Trump's like, no. What do you mean gold and silver just wiped out $1.7 trillion? Absolutely fucking not. Boom, tariffs. Everyone's like, oh no, get out of risk assets quick. Go buy silver and gold. Baron's like, yeah, no, you sorted it. You sorted it, Dad. It's all good, right? It's all good. It's back to 1% up. Don't worry about it. Oh, man. Well, on that bombshell, it's time to leave it for tonight. Let's hope we don't get more insane tariffs. Let's hope there's nothing crazy comes out of it. And fingers crossed we can keep driving BTC higher. Hopefully. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into the live stream. As always, don't forget, hit the like and subscribe button if you want to keep up with daily content here on the channel, as well as all of what's going on in the crypto market. FYI, Bitcoin is dumping under 88k. No surprise. Everyone say, I am tired of winning. All right, we'll be back tomorrow night. Don't forget, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK. Set your alarm clocks. As always, it's going to be bullish. Likewise here on TikTok as well. Don't miss it. Jump in the Discord as well. It's absolutely free and links all in the bios and everything else. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Catch you guys tomorrow. Take care. Let's have a good day.